Hey y'all, Dylan here. With my life being put on hold due to the coronavirus, I decided it would be fun to start a small YouTube channel about one of my favorite games of all time, Smash Bros. Ultimate. In today's video, I will talk about 5 characters who took a decent fall down the competitive tier list. Before we get into the video, there are 2 things you should know. The first is that this list is not ordered, as this is a pretty flexible topic with a ton of characters being able to fit into a list like this. The other thing to know is that just because a character fell down the tier list, it doesn't exactly mean that they are bad, they are just not as good as they used to be. With that said, let's go. The first character to talk about in a topic like this is of course Pichu. In the beginning of Ultimate, Pichu was definitely a nightmare to deal with. Pichu was a glass cannon without much of the glass. While he took a ton of recoil damage and was the lightest character in the game, this really didn't hold him back. Only few zoners could deal with him, as if he ever touched his opponent, they were either going to take a truckload of damage or straight up die. In the beginning of Ultimate, he was widely considered to be top 5, if not the best character, but in 3.1, the nightmare finally ended. In this update, all the moves that did recoil damage to Pichu got a significant damage increase, one of these moves being his neutral beam, which is his main approach option. This meant if you constantly canced Pichu out, he really couldn't do anything besides just damage himself, and this is what caused Pichu to go down. If he wasn't playing perfectly, he was basically gonna die at the earliest percent known to man. So where is Pichu now exactly on the tier list? Well, to most people he's fallen out of top tier, which is something I can agree with. However, some people say that he is a mid tier, which is something I don't exactly see. I think he's way too powerful to be considered a mid tier. However, considering the fact that he went from being one of the best characters in the game to just a forgotten high tier, I felt like I kinda had to put him on this list. The next character I want to talk about happens to be another Pokemon, this one being Lucario. To put it short, Smash Ultimate is not for Lucario. For those who don't know, Lucario has an interesting mechanic where he starts off the stock to be a pretty slow and weak character, but then as his percent goes up, he becomes faster and stronger. Unfortunately, Ultimate has too many characters who can kill off of 0 to deaths or just raw kill Lucario early. The worst part is that once you have a stock lead on Lucario, you can really just run away from him. He was considered to be top tier by Zero in the beginning of the game, and yeah, I don't really know why, as I'm not a Lucario expert. Anyways, he's now considered to be a low tier by many, and yeah, that's not really sad to me. Getting rewarded for losing isn't exactly great character design, and I'm really happy I don't have to worry about running into this character in bracket anymore. And here is the final Pokemon on the list. This character is Mewtwo. I remember the days where Mewtwo was a feared character. Despite losing multiple air dodging from Smash 4, Mewtwo was considered to be top 10 and if not just outside of it. This is because the movement of Ultimate greatly benefited Mewtwo, as in this game he's considered an offensive powerhouse. It took a while, but eventually people found out Mewtwo's big flaw, his tail. In Smash 4, Mewtwo's tail is a disjoint, which is basically a sword hitbox or part of his body that wouldn't take damage if he was trying to hit you with it. In Smash 4, there was also multiple air dodges which made his disadvantage better, and his down tilt was pretty nice. It comes to no surprise that he was top 10 in Smash 4. When we move into Ultimate, there were some big changes. His down tilt wasn't as good. You only had one air dodge for each time you got hit, and of course his tail became a hurt box. If Mewtwo ever tried to hit you with his tail, you could just smack it and he would lose the interaction. This also meant if Mewtwo was in the air, he was going to explode, as you could just constantly land hits on him. His offense is still pretty good, but considering he's a big character but one of the lightest characters in the game, yeah, he took a tumble down the tier list. Nowadays, he's considered to be bottom 20, which in my opinion is pretty disappointing. Finally, our first non-Pokemon character, and he's from the series that everybody just loves, Fire Emblem. The character I chose is Marth. Like Lucario, Ultimate isn't exactly in Marth's favor. Sure, he can kill you ridiculously early with perfect tippers, but how often are you gonna land them in Ultimate? Smash 4 was a very slow game that allowed Marth to have deadly spacing, which made him a top tier. The only thing that held him back from being way too insane was the general landing lag of Smash 4. If you ever hit him in the air, you could keep him there for such a long time. Another thing to mention here, which is very important to why Marth isn't good in Ultimate, is that he had jab setups that led into his deadly tipper. When we move into Ultimate, there have been some big changes. The landing lag was reduced, making Marth so much better. Sadly, his tipper setups got completely removed, and among this, he just can't seem to kill in Ultimate. Yeah, he can space well, I guess, but I don't know really. Marth simply can't kill because the tipper is too inconsistent, and in Ultimate, if you can't kill consistently, that's basically a death sentence. Marth went from being considered a top tier, to being considered as a high tier, to being seen as a lower mid tier. But when MKLeo played the character, there was some hope that the character could be revived. I don't know. Marth just can't kill consistently, and there's really no reason to play him when you have Lucina. It's kinda sad considering he's the mascot of Fire Emblem in Smash Bros. I'm gonna be honest, when I was making this list, I tried to stay away from K. Rool as I figured he was too easy to put on the list. But now I only have 4 characters. Maybe I should have put K. Rool. Wait. I know the character to put on this list, and if I'm gonna be honest, this one kind of hurts. Alright, here's Ganondorf. I'm really sad about this as I was probably more hyped for him than I was about Ridley and K. Rool. A good Ganondorf with a bit of fan service? Finally! Unfortunately, he still has huge flaws that really hold him back. While his frame data has improved since Smash 4 and he can kill you at 20%, he still has a horrible neutral, horrible recovery, horrible movement speed, and horrible disadvantage. Ganondorf was never considered to be a top tier, but he was always considered to be an upper mid tier at least. While some may argue this, nowadays he's considered to be bottom 5, and some say he's the worst in the game. Yeah, it's kind of sad, so let's try to end this on a positive note. Being a low tier at mid level isn't as much of a death sentence as it is at top level, so if you really want to destroy your local tournament with Ganondorf, go ahead and do it. Give the tier list and haters a fat old L, and go out there and rock the King of Evil. Thank you for watching. This is my first crack at making good content, so any feedback is appreciated. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about in the comments below. With that said, I'll see y'all in the next video.